guys, welcome once again. So, today we're back here talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac, and this is the reunion part one. And I'll say that it's given the reunion has been like the most interesting episode amongst the 18. Okay, no, I think I loved the 18th episode, but I think the reunion can cover up for the floppy season that this season has been. Um, I'm kind of enjoying the reunion, but also I'm kind of like, wow, I didn't know that these women are like this. I was shocked by some things that happened at the reunion, but you know, it wouldn't be a reunion if we didn't have all those things. What did you feel in general about the reunion?
I felt the reunion. I'm excited for it. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of missing parts, a lot of things that weren't said during the episodes that now they finally get a chance to say it, and I'm here for it. My ears are open. I'm looking at it. I'm rewinding. I'm watching twice, just so I don't miss anything. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. I really did enjoy it. As in, I did love it for the first time. Okay, apart from the episode 18, sorry. I think I watched this episode and I kept on going like woof. I kept on not on fast, not on speed mode, on a normal mode, and I kept on being like I was shocked by a lot of things that did happen or was being said during the reunion. But anyway, let's not talk too much. Let's go ahead and talk about what brought us on this live on today's episode. So, the reunion part one. We started off. Firstly, let me say all the ladies were looking absolutely gorgeous. When I mean gorgeous, I mean every one of them. They brought
Mhm.
something unique to the table. They were looking absolutely beautiful.
Oh
I'm
yes.
just gonna say that firstly, everyone was looking absolutely. I was surprised that every one of them could do that, but they did do that. Now that we have that along the way, we started the reunion um with Robyn trying to defend Juan. The way Robyn defended Juan in this reunion, in this episode, this part one reunion, I was shocked. I was surprised because um I kept on asking myself because they did a replay. Remember, they did a replay about everything that has happened between Robyn and Juan, and they replayed that part where he called her, she called him rather, when she was in distress because of what the ladies were saying to her and the issue between her and Candiace, and he literally ignored her and he literally cut up the phone on her and did not care about her feelings. But she's right there on that seat, literally defending his ass, and he also declined to be at the reunion.
Yeah, I kind of
If
suspected that.
if Gordon can be there with all the disrespect, with all the embarrassment, he was there. He is there. And we already knew that the ladies were going to come for Chris, but he still showed up because he knows that this thing is like, I'm going to show up for my, okay, let's say your wife, because he knows that probably there's a probability that these ladies are going to come for her. Why isn't he there? And she's sitting down there being like, yeah, I'm gonna defend him. And the way she's still, I know it's their marriage, and I'm not going to say leave your husband or anything. All I'm going to say is at the end of the day, just admit the truth. And the way she was still saying that she believes that he wasn't doing anything in like, you know what, I just got tired of her defending Juan and the way she was just stepping up for him even when he didn't step up for her. That was very disappointing for me seeing um Robyn do that, and unfortunately he could not do that for her.
Yeah, I kind of see him as her downfall, because like I was saying before, and a couple of podcasts before, Robin, she's grown up around both of her parents. Her mother and her father are still married. She wants the same for her kids. She's willing to turn a blind eye, ignore stuff, but she knows deep down inside what he's doing. She's not saying it's okay. She's saying, hey, I've been with him for 28 years, and
Yeah.
this, as we see, is his pattern. It's one thing. If a man's gonna cheat, ain't nothing you could do about it. I don't care how pretty you are, how nice you are. You could cook, you keep the house clean, whatever it is that you do. If a man's gonna cheat, ain't nothing you can do about it. But one thing you can't do about it is walk your pretty butt on out the door.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You know, the way, well, I guess, like you said, she has grown with this relationship of um my man, my parents, we grew up together, we stayed together, all those kind of things. So it's very understandable that since she grew up in a household where the parents stayed together for a long while, she wants to create that scenario for her. But there's one thing about that. Just because your parents are together in the marriage didn't mean that they had to be in the situation or the condition that you are in. You don't have to force to you can't force yourself to have what your parents have. If you see it's not working for you, absolutely leave. I already know. I'm just gonna drop it here. This is my opinion only. My opinion, right?
Okay.
I
Hmm.
do feel, because we found out that last week after the episode aired, she they said she allegedly, according to sources, it's not yet confirmed, that she was being fired. Some said she decided to leave. My own is, even if she decided to leave, right, I feel like Juan is the most happiest person right now, that he knows that he isn't going to see or have to deal with all these things anymore. Because we saw it play out in this season where he was absolutely not happy to be anywhere near her or have any chat about that issue. He was he was shouting on her when she brought up issues about it or made the ladies talk about her. He didn't want to be in this camera space. So I'm literally feeling like he's the worst, he's the best, he's the most happiest person when he heard last week that she might not be coming back for the new season of the Real Housewives. I'm pretty sure that he's the most happiest person because I feel like he has checked out. And because he has checked out, even if that um Robyn wanted to fight for her to still have a chance to be on the show, he would have like be like, no, I don't want anything to be on the show. I'm pretty sure that he would have found a way to try and convince her not to fight. If there was any fighting chance for her to still remain on the show, because he has checked that. He didn't come. You know that, okay, probably this might probably be the last time you guys will be on the show. Why didn't you come to the reunion? Take every L that comes your way. Because of course, we know reunion always comes with L's. A lot of people go home with L's. Why don't you just take your L and go home? And that will be over. That will be ended.
Well, most narcissists don't like taking responsibility. You know what I'm saying? So I just wish her luck in her marriage, because I feel like the pressure of not being on TV is going to get even worse for her. I hate to say it, but this is what my mind I see. It's going to get worse for her. The money's going to get tighter. He's going to be even more for the streets, and she's going to get tired of it. We'll hear about it.
Mm. Hi, Shop Reality.
Hey guys, how are you guys
Is it
today? Can you hear me?
kind of a little bit faint?
Okay, how about now?
Yeah,
Is that better?
it's better.
Okay, yeah, just listening to what you guys are saying. She had a horrible season. It's like she didn't really put much effort into anything. After the Austin trip, when she stood up in the middle of the hotel room, what are you gonna do to me? Whatever it is that she said, there was nothing else. She gave nothing else. And people have been saying that about her season after season after season. She gave nothing. What are they going to do financially? Because people were buying her products because I bought some of her products because she was on the show. I haven't bought any of her products in years. So her fan base were people who were watching the show. So who's going to buy your products? And then he's not working. I believe she mentioned he got a severance package for I don't know how
Yeah,
many months. Right. So then and then what? What are you guys going to do? And then getting this spa, like, did you think that clearly? Like, how are you going to be able to pay for that? So it's just like you brought nothing, you didn't try, you're low energy, I don't know if she's going to be coming back or not. As you mentioned, the rumors are out there that she may not be, and her friend probably would not be able to save her because I think the only reason why she continued to be there the past few seasons is because of Giselle. You know, Giselle, because that's how she got on the show in the first place. Because she said that when she was interviewed, the producers didn't like her. And Giselle is the one who said, let me call them. And so I guess she called the producers and convinced them that Robyn would be a good addition. So that's the only reason why we still see her. You know, we saw her in the first place being on the show, but she brought absolutely nothing.
yeah,
Hello? Okay. I'm sorry. It muted me.
yeah.
And
We,
then
I
for the, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was trying to tell you that we could hear you.
Oh, it gave me a chance to swallow. Sorry, I was I was drinking something. But and then for him
Yeah,
not to show up. And like they were asking her, so he's not here, he didn't come. And even Ashley said Michael came, he had to, face everybody after that whole incident. The fact that he's
yeah,
not here, so that may have saved your job to have him come there and let him just go through the fire, let him, everybody,
exactly.
yeah, jump on him, and then maybe that will give you another season. Maybe they've been saving their money and they have invested well, because otherwise, what are they going to do?
And now, and she said the shop is not yet open, so I don't even know why you would jeopardize this big business opportunity when you know that the investment you want to do. For me, I feel like she should have done everything possible to keep herself on the show, right? You
But
were
but she
taught.
Right.
okay, but she
You said,
can't because her counterpart doesn't want anything to do with it.
Right, that is true.
yeah,
You know,
that's true.
because he's in the streets. He's for the streets. You know what I'm saying? He's tired of his business being broadcasted, and then people are doing podcasts, and TMZ getting a sniff of it. He's tired of all that. He wants to cheat in in private.
And then, but then she had the opportunity to get make up with Candace. That could have been a storyline. Engage with Candace. She just wanted to ignore Candace. That could have been something. Get engaged with Candace. Keep going back and forth with her. Nope. You just absolved yourself from everything. You did nothing. You were a tour guide on that trip, and you were just reticent to just decide that, hey, I'm just not going to do anything. So now that's what
I
happens.
feel like she was very dependent on, probably she felt like Giselle, like you said, Giselle got her on the show in the first place. So probably she stayed there thinking that, okay, I am very sure that Giselle is going to keep me on the show. If Giselle is still here, I'm still going to be here. But one thing she doesn't know is that sometimes at the end of the day, these producers, these editors, whoever they are, they tend to still listen to the audience. And everybody has been pushing for Giselle and Robyn to leave the show because for how many seasons now, they've not really added anything like that so like interesting for us the viewers to watch. So
Exactly.
her leaning on another person that is also like a waste of space. I'm sorry to say this. Another person that's a waste of space on the show was the most unrealistic thing to do, because if I was her, like you said, I would have leaned on Candiace a lot and leave whatever thing that me and Giselle have. No, like, I know she wanted to hop on Giselle's train and be like, I'm for Giselle. Giselle is my boo. Giselle is my. See, I believe that this is showbiz. At the end of the day, everybody's gonna be all right. But I have to fight for myself, for my fam. At the end of the day, I have to go back to my family. I'm the one that's going to feed my family. If I have to be going to meet a friend to help feed my family, one day the friend is going to get tired of me. So I felt like she should have left that Giselle's train and focused on her own train and looked for a storyline that would have helped herself, that in the eyes of the viewers, in the eyes of the producers, you yourself said that the producers didn't really like you when you auditioned. Why did you now make yourself an example of, okay, yes, what we said is actually true. You were not a good product for the Real Housewives.
Right.
You made you just played into their hands and be like, okay, yes, we did not want to bring you into the show, and you proved us right that you were not a good candidate. She had, oh my god, Robyn had very nice storyline that she could have actually played with, and people would be interested to want to listen, to want to watch her, even if it takes 30 minutes of the show to know about the story. Robyn has that storyline, but no, like Living for Your Girl said, of course, her counterpart does not want that to be exposed. He wants to be hidden. He wants to play his game in secret. He doesn't want his secret out there.
Allegedly.
But allegedly, but at what expense? Like, she's losing this is one of the biggest things she's doing right now, Real Housewives.
You know what? And I was thinking also, I forgot, she does have the podcast, but who's going to listen to that? Because I don't listen to it anyway. It is so boring. Her
It's
voice
so
is
boring.
her voice is so monotone. It's so monotone. Who can listen to the same monotone voice? Yeah, yeah. And she says that she hates to hear the sound of her voice. So you know that your voice is monotone. Even on the podcast, Giselle is constantly trying to get the energy level up. Giselle is constantly trying to feed Robyn punchlines to try to get the energy level. Okay, if you're not on there anymore, the few people who you guys claim that you've got all these downloads, are those people going to still watch that podcast? They don't even discuss the show. So it'd be different if they were discussing the show. They weren't discussing the show. I think she messed herself up. Hopefully, she's got something else going on outside of this that she'll be able to stay afloat. But this, I mean, you don't get on a show like this, Real Housewives on Bravo, and not try to make the best opportunity of it, which she's had season after season to do so. Last few seasons have not been good. This one was absolutely horrible. You decided to just be a tour guide and just sit in the cut and do nothing because of whatever. I guess you wanted to. He doesn't want to film. Okay, then do something else. Talk about how maybe she could say things like, "Oh, I feel isolated. I feel ignored." Do something. And then what I was going to mention about what you were saying is that when they're filming, they don't know which storyline the show is going to go with. So it's like Karen, I don't know if you guys know, but Karen they filmed a birthday party for her, and that didn't make the cut. She posted up on
Yeah.
Instagram the other day. Right. So maybe there was something else that they did film, Robyn and Giselle, and they thought that that would make it. Maybe Giselle thought that that whole Grace situation was going to save her. Super boring. I don't know what Robyn had filmed going on that we didn't see, but the two of them, it's time. It's come to an end. And I'll mute my
Yeah.
mic.
Now, let's move along. We got I love the way Andy, I'm gonna put it out there. I'm not really a huge fan of Andy like that, but I love the way Andy called out um Giselle, because I'm just gonna be realistic. I know we've always said Candiace has a big mouth. You know, she does say things that sometimes she doesn't handle the reactions that comes from what she says. But just gonna say, when I was watching the episode, I was like, that Giselle was mean. someone trying to defend her, and I was trying to justify the fact that okay, Candice has a very bad mouth, but that was outright mean. The lady was trying to cry, and you're like, yeah, yeah, cry, like it felt like something that I want to do to somebody because I wanted to pain you. That is what I felt like she did at that moment. The way she made it look as if, she was like, yeah, she always cry fake tears. Like Andy had to be like, no, that was mean. I didn't understand where that came from. I don't understand why Giselle acted that way. And the fact that you all came in the first place and being like, oh, we're here to take accountability. We're here to try to settle differences. You said that and you're coming here telling somebody the person cried fake tears. My God. How the way Giselle reacted to Candice. See, at this moment, if Candice says anything to Giselle, I'll just put it out there. In my own opinion, there is literally dislike between them. I don't want to go deep into it, but there's dislike between those two ladies, and I don't think except if God comes down because it's real. And the way she was trying to also double down on what she said, trying to make it what it was not, and trying to make us feel as if we were all delusional or we didn't watch her say those things. We didn't watch. She even repeated it this season. He tried to force me into. He told me to go in. And forgetting how she said it, but like what Candy said. Okay, let's be realistic. What Candy said, I want to pose this question because I don't want to just say my own thought. What Candy said about the fact that she classified it under sexual assault. Is it Was she right or was she over exaggerated it?
I think that was over exaggerated. I mean, that doesn't qualify as sexual assault. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Um, First off, I look at it like this. Giselle's a grown woman. Now, if somebody's husband say, hey, living for my girls, let me talk to you. I want to discuss whatever. Let's go into this room. Okay. All right, let's go into this room because you want to talk in private, right? Because there's no
yeah.
other place out here that we can really talk without anybody here. Okay. We're going to go over here and talk in private. Now, when he said close the door, see, right then and there, she should have said, no, Chris, I'm not closing the door. Just don't talk loud. See what I'm saying? But she didn't, and as it just became something big and blown up, which is retarded and redundant to me, and as far as when Candace started crying, Candace said, hey, I need a tissue. Okay, that is just so phony and fake. So, yeah, I would have called her out on that too, you know,
Okay.
because Candace will cry at the drop of a hat. Those tears come out. She needs to be an actress. Those tears come out because notice when Giselle said that, how quick those tears really didn't flow down.
Well, I'm like no, truly, I'm like Candace. When I don't even know when my tears starts flowing down, when I feel a certain kind of way about what you say about me, or when I feel displeasure on what you say. I really can't anticipate when I start tearing up. So I do understand. Yes, I know she's an actress, so but I might not believe hers, but I'm saying out of my own perspective because I myself I tear up easily. Like one moment I could be normal and okay, and the next moment you just see tears rolling down my eyes. So I think it's possible that you can easily tear up.
Okay, I mean, I can go with that as well, you know, but
But not
we,
saying that Candice is hers is not might not be fake. I'm just saying that it's possible.
right, right. I mean, I completely understand your point of view, but in Candace's case, we're watching her, you know, and she always has those little folded up little
She should.
handkerchiefs for the corners of her eyes. And she even got Mia doing it now.
I think it's to not drip on your makeup.
Oh, do an ugly cry so we really know you're crying.
She
I don't
doesn't
do
want
no.
to spoil
If,
her
if
makeup.
if I cry, I can have a full face of makeup. If I'm crying, I'm angry. So you're gonna get the ugliest cry that you've ever seen because there's nothing cute about crying.
Yeah, and then it's almost like the boy who cried wolf at this point with her because she's always doing that.
Yeah.
Even if she is sincere or not, it's just like, oh, here we go. It's because, and with her, it's like she says such nasty things to people, then she wants to start crying. But I agree with the stuff that she said to Giselle, and the name she called her. And I like how she said, yes, I said that because Giselle did ignore her all season. It did seem as though
Mhm.
she was trying to ice her out. And what bothers me so much is that Robyn hopped on that train. And I think that's what hurt Candiace so much because she said that she and Robyn were friends. And Robyn hopped on that train with Giselle and, did that to her, didn't even try to reconcile with her. But the whole Chris thing, did you hear Giselle say she did not say he made me? And then they played it that she did. She kept saying, I didn't
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah, that was what I
Hmm.
was saying, that she was trying to make us feel like we were just like we didn't watch what she said. So they had to do a replay. I love the fact that they had to do a replay to show her that, ma'am, you're lying. Don't downplay what you said. Because, what me I'm trying to say is, like you said, it didn't sound like, living for your girl said it for her, it didn't sound as if it was like a sexual assault stuff, and Candice over exaggerated it. I also feel like Candice over exaggerated it. But if you look at it in a way, if somebody comes to you and be like, oh, this person forced me into a room and made me uncomfortable. If you don't know the person, let's say we don't know Chris,
Mhm.
and Giselle comes over and be like, oh, this guy told me to go into a room. I thought we are gonna have a chat. Before you know, he asked me to close the door. I was like, what's going on here? And before you know, he was like making me uncomfortable. When you start making somebody uncomfortable in a closed room, that means probably the person is encroaching on your space, trying to be close to you, trying to, do what you don't like or do something you're not interested in. That's what makes you uncomfortable in a closed space. So now you saying that about somebody, let's just say just because we know Chris, that's why we're like trying to downplay it. And we've watched it and we know that, okay, it didn't really happen. She was just over exaggerating what happened. But let's just say we didn't know Chris. Let's say we didn't watch everything play out. Let's say we didn't know the truth. And Giselle comes up here and tell the story like she has always said it, that he made her uncomfortable. He took her into the room and was making her uncomfortable. You hearing it, what would have been your thoughts?
Frankly, I would have been like, okay, this is sexual assault on the job.
Okay.
Somebody's
Mm-hmm.
about to be sued. Somebody's about to lose their job. You know what I'm saying? So that's why Andy made it clear and let her know, no, this is what you said. Now you're saying it a totally different way. Which is it? Because they're trying to get it straight on the show because they don't need no attorneys coming after them later on. They're trying to get this in Giselle's head. Hey, this is the way you said it. Now you're saying it like this. You know, like which is it? So Giselle just took a situation and ran with it. That's how I feel.
And waited several months before she mentioned it because it happened at that reunion. But that was another contention that you didn't bring it up until we started filming again and brought it up on camera.
Exactly. Hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's what me I'm saying, because the reason why we didn't take it serious, the reason why we all shouted on Giselle. The reason why we all pounced on Giselle because we saw it play out when she was accusing him. We saw it happen. But the truth is, in reality of life, in everyday life, if I should come to you and be like, I was somewhere and a guy walked up to me and said he wanted to discuss something with me, and he took me to a room, and before you know the rooms, he told me to lock the door, and I did because I trusted him, and the next thing is making me uncomfortable. Most of us has been in that situation before where we
True.
feel like you what you're doing, man, this is really uncomfortable, and it's now chimes down to this person was trying to sexually assault me. And that is why I felt like that's where Candice was going on. Although I felt like we already know what happened, and don't exaggerate it. But the thing is that if we didn't see it happen, if we didn't see it play out, most of us would have thought that he tried to sexually assault her. That's what most of us would have. That's the first thing would have gone to our head.
And
And I
another
feel
thing,
that,
if I'm sorry,
yeah.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and another thing, if nothing happened, if he said that he didn't do any of those things to her, then why
Yeah.
did you even bring it up? You know, like, why did you even bring this up? He didn't force me. No, he didn't do. So then why did you bring it up?
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like you want to damage somebody's name. You purposely being
Right.
like, I want to
Right.
spoil your name. I want to put it, I want to spoil your name in a dark things. That's what you want to do. But luckily for us, on the show that I'm pretty sure they themselves did not want any issues, and that's why they played it out. Even when Deborah was trying to be like, "Oh, he was looking at me in a certain way," they played out what happened because they know that tomorrow they might get a lawsuit because somebody's name is being damaged because of one or two lies. These things do happen. And me, probably that's why me I'm upset because I have witnessed a situation where somebody lied against somebody when it came to this kind of situation. The person hooked a lie about this thing, and it damaged a lot of people's life. A lot of people's life got damaged. And sometimes people don't recover from this. And the worst part about it is that this one is not on camera. Nobody knew what really happened. It was when things went sideways, when things went sour, when the person that lied saw what was happening was not like what she thought would have happened was not what was happening. It was more than what she thought was going to happen. And she came back and was like, "Oh, I kind of lied." But at the end of the day, it was already too late. It was too late. So me, I say to the kind of way like I don't like those kind of things, and that's why I say I feel like because of what Giselle did, I feel like her and Candice can never go. They cannot. Can they even be cordial? Candice and Giselle. Can they be ever cordial?
Can they do what?
Can they be cordial? Candice and Giselle.
Oh, it sounds like Candace was willing to, but Giselle seemed like she was done. She didn't want to reconcile because I got the feeling that Candace was just like, okay, she just kind of just, stopped the mid sentence, like the arguing, the stuff that Giselle refuted. Candace did not go any further. And I think they asked her, so what is it that you want from Giselle? And so what, but then Giselle gave her nothing else. So I guess Giselle paid her dust, like they say. But at that point, I think that Candace had already decided she wasn't coming back. I don't think that it's healthy, mentally healthy for her to be on that show right now. With
Yeah,
situation with Robyn, situation with Giselle, it's just too much. Especially when you're in a
it's too
situation where
much.
you
Yeah.
know people don't like you and they're
hmm
making life uncomfortable for you because that's exactly what they were doing.
And the way let's not forget about the way that they all of a sudden when they were having the argument, they decided to bring about the pictures of Chrissy's stuff about
Yes.
the girl and the breakup. And I was like, what right do you have to bring that up?
Who
What
brought it
is
up? Was it
Giselle's issue?
Robyn or was it Giselle that brought it up? Was it Robyn?
Giselle brought it up,
Oh,
then Robin just hopped on the train and took it where we're not interested in.
yeah, I'm surprised at Robyn. I don't know what it
I
has
was
to
even
be. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was even telling myself, if there is anybody in that whole room that's to say anything that was to contribute to Chrissy's issue, it shouldn't have been Robin, because your case is also the same thing. Yeah, you have your own issues, which is not resolved, and you're deciding not you decide to let it fail. So why are you hopping on another person's train? What right do you have to talk about another person's marriage? That was my question when I was watching. Like, she didn't have no right.
I mean, I totally agree, but every time you point a finger, remember there's a finger pointing back at you, you
Mhm.
know? So, hey, maybe Robin is upset that even with all the bull crap that Giselle said about Chris, Candiace and Chris are still together. You know what I'm saying? It seems like they're still going strong. So maybe there's a little bit of jealousy or envy in that
Is it from Candice or from Giselle?
from Giselle and from Robin,
Okay.
from them both. I mean, come on, where are they men at?
Oh,
Where are they men? You got one man who can't keep his pants up, and then you got another man who's missing in action. So where are the men at? At least Candace got her man.
yeah. What do you feel about that shop reality?
Yeah, she still, but she did mention that it had put a strain on her marriage. And unfortunately, he works in the hospitality industry where he is meant to be around people. And like I said earlier, if nothing happened, why did you bring it up? And you didn't at that point realize that if I say this, this is going to cause problems for this man in real life. Nope, you didn't care. You just said it. It's my truth. I believe she said something like that. But then, oh, nothing happened. He didn't make it. So then why'd you bring this thing up? So I can understand Candace being really upset and hurt by it and still angry. It's like, this has cost him jobs, I believe she said. It
Yeah.
cost him jobs. Working in hospitality, it's not like, okay, he works, somewhere where he's not out in the public. He's out in the public working in hospitality at these restaurants. She is something else. Did you guys talk about it when she first came out and, where she was seated? She played that off very well. He said, "Oh, you're sitting here.
Cool.
Oh, who's there? Oh, okay." Like, I bet she was thinking, OMG. She knew what that meant. You brought absolutely nothing. This whole Grace storyline. Okay, so it was Grace this season. So what are you going to try to do? The twins next season? What you can't.
Oh,
Because the twins. What you say?
I was like that one. You're trying to you're shading Giselle
Oh
now.
yes, because it's like, what else do you haven't brought anything you've been able to coast by season after season after season. So has your sidekick. And I like Robyn. Robyn was my favorite, but the last couple of seasons, and then I don't like what she did this time to Candace. And so I was just really excited when I found out that Mia got a chance to sit there because Mia deserved it. Mia
Oh
can
yeah.
do all of those things that Ashley does. Ashley needs to go too. I'd rather keep
Mhm.
Robyn and send Ashley on her merry way. I hope Ashley's not coming back. I cannot stand her.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Man. But um a lot of people were kind of complaining online that when Wendy was trying to like when Giselle and Candice were having their back and forth, Wendy was trying to be like, okay, if she apologizes, if she takes accountability for some things, what are you going to take accountability for? People were feeling like she was not a good friend for saying that. Did
You
you
know what?
feel like she wasn't a good friend? Wendy,
Yeah, she did a similar thing last season with the colorism thing where she will interrupt Candace. You don't mean it like that. I think she's trying to be helpful because she probably has some training in conflict resolution, being a university professor, whatever. But in those moments, I don't think she should do that because of the optics. It doesn't look good, because people see this is your friend. Why did you interrupt? Why did you point out
mm,
her shortcomings? You should not do that. But in real life, I can understand why she does do that because she's probably just trying to get a resolution. But I can understand them saying, oh, she's not being a friend. But in real life, I understand why she is doing that.
what about you? Living for your girls, living for my girls.
I'm sorry. What was the question? I'm sorry.
I was saying the way when Wendy was trying to like talk on Candice when Candice and Giselle were having their back and forth, and she was like, if Giselle takes accountability for some things, would you be able to take accountability for some things? People were feeling like she wasn't being a good friend
Oh,
by doing that.
I kind of look at it like this. Andy was asking the question. He never got the answers. So she jumped in, her being the newscaster, and the person who always has the mic in her hand. She took things in her own hand and said, let me get your answer for you. Because they're not listening to you. You're not getting through to them. You know.
Yeah,
So yeah, I felt like, hey, she's trying to help settle this and break a common ground for these ladies.
um,
They claim sisterhood, right?
yeah,
Yeah, sisters, we're gonna argue, we're gonna borrow each other's clothes, you know uh sneak stuff out of your closet that you don't know about and wear it. Yeah,
yes,
this is what sisters do. We're gonna
yeah,
argue, we're
sure,
gonna fight, we're gonna pull hair, we may accidentally scratch each other, but somewhere you make up and say, I'm sorry. I
yeah.
really do like you. I really do love you. You're my sister. So maybe she was just trying to get them to that point, to some type of common ground. You know, um, somebody had to be the bigger person, because it's like talking in between two children.
Oh, did you guys see the card that Candace brought over? Those cards were
Her
funny to me.
props, those were ridiculous. It's like, how much did you pay for those? And what is on them? Because, geez, I mean, you need all that to prove your point.
but
It's
but
like
she did.
it's like a cue card
But
for something.
she a little bit shaded Robyn, because what Robyn was chatting up with those bloggers was about her friend Giselle, her very good friend Giselle. Uh, Imagine you seeing a chat about your friend talking about you to talking about you to bloggers. I don't, well, they don't understand their friendship. Like I say, I don't understand how they value friendship on the show. So they know how their friendship is. But let's go ahead and talk about Karen and Robyn. When they tried to resolve Karen and Robyn's issue, and the little shade, when they ask them to say things about themselves, good things about themselves, and Karen still looked for a way to literally shade Robyn in between saying something good about her, you know. But one thing I feel is that I feel like Robyn is expecting Karen to be like Giselle to her or for her, which is um Not possible. Karen is her own person. Karen doesn't think how Giselle thinks. Karen doesn't behave how Giselle behaves. So for you to think that she will be okay, like I think she wants a situation where, like Giselle, if anything happens, Giselle first listens to Robyn before any other person, and believe Robyn, and closes the eye to every other person, which is not possible. Karen is not like that. So her expecting that of Karen is beyond me, truthfully. But do you think that they can be at a good place, Robyn and Giselle, Robyn and Karen?
I think they can. I mean, you know, Karen, by the way, I liked her haircut. If that was a cut
She was
or
beautiful.
yeah, that was beautiful. That style becomes her, you know. But yeah, I think that she would more likely respect Karen because Karen is triple 20, and she
Hmm.
deserves that respect, and for her to feel that Karen was going to, you know, as far as telling all of her relationship information, she expected Karen to carry the bone, and Karen was like, "No, it ain't my bone to carry." You know what I'm saying? Because you got to be
Yeah,
happy with what goes on in your house and the decisions that you make. You know, so yeah,
yeah. Shipwrecks, do you think Karen and Robyn can ever be friends or cordial?
I think it's just going to be the same as they always are. I think they're cordial. They banter back and forth. Karen always reads her for filth, and then they move on. But I think part of Robin's problem is I think she thinks she's smarter than Karen is, or more intelligent in some regards. But I don't think Robin cares, and I don't think Karen cares. They've been like that from the beginning. But one time Karen did try to be cool with Robin. I remember, I think it was the first season. Robin came over to the house. They were playing pool. She told Robin something. Robin went right back and told Giselle what she said. So, yeah.
Hmm. No, before we end this reunion, I want to say Bia is the
Oh,
goat.
isn't she?
Mia is the goat. I'm telling you, that lady, she plays her game right. For her, when they went on the break and she went to her room or her space, and I saw Gordon there, and she was calling, or he was calling her. I don't know who called who. Ink was calling her, or she was calling Ink, and he was like, "Hey, baby, hi, my love." I was like, "Jeez, jeez." She did not care about the feelings of that man. She could care less for his feelings. Careless. And the way she was like, "Oh, Gordon is here. Say hi." Hey, oh my God. If I was him, I would have entered the ground.
Gordon
I
is
would
the
have,
new babysitter.
I would
Okay,
have like dug a hole and entered inside there. Because what was that? Hey, when he said that, we're there showing up. I was like, why are you explaining? Who needs this? Is why are you explaining to this young man? For God's sake, if not for anything, respect the gray hair on your head. God on, because I did not understand. I I think honestly, in my opinion, this is just me. I feel like I'm kind of losing the respect I had for Gordon because man, he most of the things that's happening, I would understand why his family would want to, take him off the family business, because why would he be acting like this? Why would he stay with her, with Mia, helping her with her things? My God, my Jesus. Oh,
I
I
don't
was
feel,
embarrassed.
yeah, I don't feel sorry for Gordon at all because, well, I feel bad that he got sick and, had prostate cancer, I think he had. But, I feel
Yeah.
bad about that. I feel bad that he got with a young, vibrant woman who is still popping, you know, and he tried to make her his for life. Nah, that's only gonna last a little while. You gave her the playbook and you told her to go play. You know what I'm saying? Rules schmooze. You gave me the playbook. So don't get mad when I'm outside and I'm playing. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? And now it seems like she's developed deeper feelings. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, here's the phone. Say hi to my new boo. You approved him a long time ago. It's still the same old boo. you know? So I don't feel sorry for him. And all I can say is go Mia go. Because he,
Oh,
he he doesn't want to divorce her. So what is she supposed to do?
oh my God. Oh my God. I felt first-hand embarrassment for that man. Like, I know if it is somewhere in Africa right now and that guy was doing that thing, they would be like, probably, oh, maybe this guy has been wished. Maybe they've bewitched him. Because what is that? What is that? If that was my dad, I think maybe I'll probably give him a slap. Like, what was he doing there? Explaining to somebody that in your front is calling your ex-wife directly in front of you. Oh my love, I shouldn't care about how you feel. This is just fresh. It's not like you guys have been separated for like 3, 4, 5 years. That yes, everybody's moving on. This is just a fresh stuff, and you are like, yeah, we're showing up and showing up for who? Who? Even if you're showing up for her or trying to say your own part of the story, because I understand, I love that he's there. But if I was the one and Mia was like, "Oh, talk to him," I will literally ignore the both of them.
But that
That
goes to
was it.
show you, I don't mean to interrupt, but that goes to show you that Gordon knew about this a long time ago. He was cool with it. It wasn't a problem until he got upset because of an argument. So he wanted to blast it out. Okay, now that it's blasted out, she's like, okay, what's done is done. What was done in the dark is now in the light. So here you go.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So right now,
Yeah, for
he's just
sure.
a he's just an old papa bear and he's a babysitter.
Wow.
And if it was me who was the one who was sick, if I think that you're not going to remain faithful, you're having the urge, guess what? In my sickness, I'm getting a divorce.
Mm,
That's just me.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't understand why he's still attaching himself to her. Like I said last week, she said, "This person is my soulmate." Why would I want to be married or want to stay married to somebody when I hear the person every time telling me that the person they are with outside is their soulmate? Does he understand what soulmate means, or he doesn't?
Yeah, but then we established that Gordon messed up his first marriage because he started pursuing Mia. Okay, so he put all
Yes.
his eggs in one basket. Now, the basket drops to the floor, the eggs break. So what do? You sit there and you try and clean up the mess. Or you can walk away. Those are your choices. He's going to sit there and he's going to clean up the mess and see if he can save one little yolk because that's all he got.
What about you, Shafi? What did you feel about that scene?
I'm wondering if the two of them are like in cahoots together to give us good TV, because maybe they are no longer together, but they both understand that if we put this story out there and we do this back and forth thing, then she's going to get more airtime and she'll get paid, and then she'll be able to help him out financially, because it's all at the point of, it's kind of like disrespectful, but she's
Yeah, it's a
still his wife.
possibility.
Say that again?
I said it's a possibility.
Yeah, yeah, because for him to go to TMZ, and that was the last we had heard of it, then we find out that the cameras ended up coming back and recording them at the house. So not only was he on TMZ, but then Bravo came back and recorded that because it was such good TV that they gave us. And for him to sit there, and then that whole thing about that was just like, oh, that hurt my feelings, because I was like, oh no, I hope they're not going to bring this up again and have this be a part of their storyline for next season, because that is
Yeah.
not cool. But and then for
Uh-huh.
what's her name, Wendy, to say what she said, I was like, Wendy, maybe that came from some other conversation for her to butt in and just say that. But it did make for good TV. I do have to say that it did. It made for really good TV.
Oh, about him
However,
saying
it's a
that
real
Jeremiah.
sensitive topic that they brought up
Hmm.
at the end of the episode.
But what now? Let's talk about the preview for next week's
Oh, I
episode.
cannot
What do you
hear
think?
anything.
You said
Hello. Oh,
you
there
can't
you
hear
are.
us.
Okay, I'm sorry. My sound went out. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Okay, I was saying let's talk about the preview for next week's episode. What do you feel Gordon is gonna announce? Because he was like, I know you guys have heard about some things, and he was tearing up. What do you think he wants to announce? That they are finally divorced, or he's gonna stop embarrassing
He got
himself?
the test. No, I think he finally got the DNA test for the oldest son, and he found out that that really isn't his son.
Is that what you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Then why is he
Wait.
crying?
Why was Gordon crying?
Yeah.
Because that's not his son.
Okay, you are saying that he did a DNA test and found out that he
I think
is
he
not the
went
son.
behind. I think he went behind Mia's back
Okay.
and got the DNA test. You can do a DNA test off a toothbrush, off a piece of
Mm-hmm.
hair. You know what I'm saying? So I think he got the DNA test and found out that that really isn't his son, and he's been loving and caring for. That's not his son.
But for me, let me just chime in here now. For me, I feel like is that supposed to be an issue? Is if that is what he's going to say, I don't feel that's going to be an issue because she said that when she got pregnant, she felt like it might not be his, it might be Ink's pregnancy, and she came to him and told him, "I've messed up the date. I'm not sure." And he said, "Okay, no matter what, I'm gonna love this child." So, for why would he do that? You made your decision. But let's say the love was too much with him, then the love was too sweet in his head, and he said that. But that's his fault. Why would he be crying? For me, if that be what exactly he's going to say, if that's what's going to be said, I feel like he has no right to cry because you were told. She was open with you. She told you, I don't know who this might be because I messed up my dates. I'm not really sure what or when this happened. And you said you were gonna love and taking the child like yours. So even if fast forward today, okay, or when they shot this on the reunion, and you found out that okay, yeah, probably it's not yours. You're not supposed to cry because you already made up your mind. You already promised from the beginning that you were gonna love and cherish and be for the child, whether it be or whether it be not. So I don't feel that if that's what he might be crying for, no, that would be a very big hypocritical thing for me. That's just it. For me, I feel like probably he wants to announce their divorce. He wants to officially announce their divorce. That's what I feel. What do you feel he wants to announce, your priority?
You know what? I don't know. That sounds plausible. Both of those that you guys gave do sound like it could be plausible that that's what he's going to announce. I know in some little clip they showed him moving his ring around on his finger, but I just don't understand how he would allow himself to be disrespected like that on television unless he's in on it. Like, okay, let's just go ahead and do this. Let's put
Yeah.
it all out there. That'll give you more screen time. You can negotiate for more money for the next season because he's a businessman. We got to remember that.
Sure,
He's
yeah.
right. So I'm sure he knows how to negotiate and probably figures, okay, let's go ahead and do this. And she said she was helping him out financially, but it sounds like it's going to get pretty serious, whatever it is. Like I mentioned, it did make me uncomfortable considering the subject matter. And it was just like, ooh. And she looked serious for a change on her face. She did look really serious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but that guy she's with, I mean, she seems like she really likes him. He seems like he really likes her.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
They waited for each other for 10 years, so
Right.
they did good. May they last well. May they last long. May they last long. Well, well, I guess we have to wait for next week. I did think they're going to show us Wendy versus Neka in this episode, so, well, I think probably they're saving it for the last part because it looks as if they're not going to talk about it also next week. So probably they're saving it for the last part. Uh, let's just wait and see what happens. Well, guys, thank you very much for hanging out with us today for another review and recap for the Real Housewives of Potomac. And we'll be back here same time next week for the part two reunion recap and review. Don't forget before we go, don't forget to click on your subscribe button down below to subscribe to Unfiltered Research YouTube channel and also Shop Reality TV's YouTube channel. Don't forget to like on our videos and also don't forget to comment on the comment section your thoughts and opinions on the comment section. We'll see you guys same time next week. Have a nice day, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.